Hey, what's happening, gamers? Welcome to the, I guess you could say, second Kwing podcast thing on our YouTube channel, Nightwing01.
Yeah.
Today we are doing a recap or impressions, thoughts on Nintendo's E3 2012 conference. And we're going to be going step by step as the events happened, and occasionally you guys will see some footage of the conference. I have it in full HD, so yeah, that's pretty cool. We're just going to see a blank screen with our latest Gaming with the K-Wings Mortal Kombat video that we did, and all my scattered, horrible, nasty desktop.
Last podcast we did was a long time ago, huh?
Well, I did one a while ago by myself.
Oh, okay.
For the channel. It wasn't very long, though. This is going to be pretty long, so best listened to with a snack.
Yeah.
But anyway, the show began with Miyamoto coming on the conference with his little video skit.
It was adorable.
Yeah, Miyamoto's fun as always, and he finally revealed Pikmin 3, which everybody was really excited about. A lot of people, my friends at IGN and stuff, were tweeting like crazy, and some former people at IGN were very happy as well.
Yeah, it looked really cool. A new type of Pikmin.
Yeah, the rock Pikmin.
Yeah, they can bash like glass like surfaces, and you get more. Well, Olimar, the original guy, is not in the game.
Nope, Captain Olimar is missing. He is non-playable in this game. You take on the role of 4 new cadets, or 4 characters. They play exactly like Olimar, but it's not him. It's all related to the story, what happened, so you have to play to find out.
I'm excited to find out why, and that'll be really cool, like, controlling 4 different generals type people.
4 generals, yeah.
But that was really adorable how they opened it up, with the little Pikmin in his pocket, and they had like little Pikmin out in the audience. You could see Pikmin on people's shoulders and stuff. I don't know.
It was pretty,
adorable.
Yeah.
So I liked it. So, and wow, what like awesome music they have for that game too.
Yeah, it's fully orchestrated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think was it on the show floor or?
Yes, it's on the show floor. I have some friends at IGN that went and played the game, and they told me that you can play using the Wiimote. You don't have to use the new U gamepad if you don't want to. Mm-hmm. But it's probably a good idea too, because it has all the different features and things like that with the touch control. But we're moving right along. Reggie then talked about some of the Wii U features, but mentioned again their time limit, which I'm surprised that they only had an hour show to begin with, especially all the information they had. But he said they had a lot of stuff to talk about, that they would actually move over to the developer roundtable, and also different interviews that they would have. But some of the big blunders that they didn't really mention was, of course, the streaming options like Amazon Prime, which is a big deal, Netflix, and YouTube.
Wow.
Those are big things. Plus, something that a lot of people in the audience were wondering is, how am I going to be able to play my Virtual Console and WiiWare titles on the new system? And he dropped the ball there, and it took an interview, I believe it was with a Japanese publication that asked it, or ABC, something like that. And your transfer ability for the WiiWare and Virtual Console titles are going to be pretty similar to what happened with the DSi and 3DS.
Yeah.
And then you just transfer over your account information, but you won't lose all your games that are on your Wii's.
Yeah, that's like a big question of how, how it combines with what you already have. Like, do you have to buy all those games over again? And, like, I'm sure it's like a burning question in everyone's mind, and everyone thought, oh, that'll be answered at E3. It's kind of like, no. A lot of questions weren't answered.
Not
still.
not during the press conference.
It's not like they didn't have a lot of cool stuff to say. They just didn't say everything they had, which was kind of weird.
Well, this kind of information is very important for the media that's in the audience, and as well as the gamers watching and stuff. So they didn't. That's the first time they dropped the ball during the conference, and then they moved right into, of course, the asymmetric gameplay, which is a big focus that they're doing for co-op. And other options within the Wii U. That was one of the big focuses of the system.
You mean like 1 player against 3? Or no?
No.
You're not thinking of... I'm sorry.
No, asymmetric.
Okay.
And then, of course, we found out, which Reggie did confirm, this is the only real information he did, is, of course, you can use 2 Wii U gamepads on the system, and have some type of connection that way. Just and he used the example of the NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Yeah.
Which was interesting.
That is cool because we didn't know. But we thought maybe just one, but it's very cool.
But the information he didn't he didn't bring up about if you use the two controllers, you're going to have a drop in resolution on the screen. So if you're just playing with one and you're doing the TV and stuff like that, you're not going to have any drop in frame rates or any slowdown or anything like that when you're using just the one controller. But when you're using both controllers, there's going to be a little bit of lag on either the second or the first controller.
Yeah, they were saying that most of the games they were showing right now, they were showing just with one controller.
Yeah.
And then later on, you'd see some games come out that utilize both. So.
Yep. But the conference was just mainly that. And of course, they gave us a guided tour of the U gamepad, which, it's pretty much information we already knew about because Iwata talked about it on Sunday. So then they wasted another 5 minutes with the display about all the buttons and how it works and things like that. It's like, what are we for?
Yeah, but I'm sure if people hadn't seen that,
But the press already knew about all that stuff, so it was like this is the conferences are press events.
Yeah.
The stuff on the show floor is for hands-on for people who come to E3, but the interviews and the conferences, those are really just for the press and the media. So this kind of stuff we already knew, so it's a waste of time.
Yeah, it makes sense because they started showing us everything early, and then by the time E3 came, it was like, oh, they showed us all this stuff. It's like if they started repeating themselves, it was kind of like, we already know. So.
Yeah, he started to bring up Miiverse a little bit, but then he stopped himself and was like, well, we'll talk about this at the roundtable tonight. So another important element that Iwata said they would actually bring up at the conference, which Iwata wasn't even at the conference. He wasn't there at all. Miyamoto, Reggie, and the Animal Crossing guy.
That's a good point.
He appeared on the direct video feeds that we watched after.
Yeah, on that note, I'm glad they showed it was a short little thing about the Wii U controller, so yeah. I'm glad I had a refresher. That's me, but I'm sure most people were like, we snooze fest.
I'm on the media side. I groaned along with the rest of my colleagues when that happened.
They had that really cool commercial about it, which was...
Non-specific action figure.
Yeah, non-specific action figure.
Wasn't
the kid in that commercial, didn't you say he was from a previous Nintendo commercial about
I don't know.
Else?
I really don't know this.
Somebody is saying he's from another Nintendo
Guru Larry,
when he was a younger kid.
Larry.
Or something.
Larry is the one who he left a message on our YouTube channel, and then he was like, hey, Luke, that guy is the same kid who did the Zelda rap, awesome graphics. It's like, well, I did some digging and I wasn't able to confirm or deny that, so I was like, Larry, you gotta tell me, Larry, if it's true or not.
But for those who haven't seen the commercial though, which I'm sure everyone has, or whatever it was, little tidbit from Nintendo, it's like it just looks amazing how he could just, you can write messages to people and you can see them pop up as you're playing the game. And then, he just video chatted with this guy, for an answer. And then you can actually view that stuff from your mobile phone and from your PC. The Miiverse is cross compatible with your phone and your computer, and it looks so amazing how you can just put your little Wii controller, like the Wii pad. Now I forget what it's called.
U-Pad. Just call it the U-Pad.
U-Pad.
The official name is
U-Pad.
U Gamepad or whatever.
Well, you can just put the U-Pad up there by your, TV, and then you can just video chat, and I think that's awesome. You can get help with games, as you're playing them, so, that's
what
good for me.
GameFAQs is for.
No, that's for lazy people like me. I don't want to stop my game, go to GameFAQs. I want to then.
All right.
I'm gonna need help every step of the way.
Okay, we got to move on now. We got a lot of ground to cover, but
right.
The conference with new Super Mario Brothers U was shown, and from what I saw of the game, and from what I'm hearing back now, 8:30 at night, the game handles pretty well. It's pretty much the same thing that we've played of the new Super Mario games. It's fun. It's not necessarily better. There's new power-ups, there's new abilities. It's got HD graphics, but
is it the gold one?
No, the gold one is, you're thinking new Super Mario Brothers 2 for the 3DS that comes out this August.
Yeah.
is all about gold.
Yeah. That looked cool. See, that just shows what stuck out to me. You know, the 3DS Mario stuck out more to me than the other. I didn't even remember what they showed for the Wii.
Yeah, New Super Mario Bros. U was originally called New Super Mario Bros. Me, and it had your Miis and all this stuff. I mean, it's still, it's cool, but I know a lot of people that, especially media included, they were like, we're kind of tired of the whole New Super Mario Brothers thing, because it was great when it first came out on the DS. It was really, exciting when it came out on the Wii.
Yeah.
But now, New Super Mario Bros. 2 coming out, the gold stuff looks great, but now New Super Mario Bros. U, all in the same year, it's kind of... Yeah.
Well, for some people, they can never get too much Mario. I don't know. And everybody likes Mario to be on the system. You have to have Mario game on.
Yeah, but why not make a new Mario instead of just,
Yeah, you're right.
And also, it was
You're
something
right.
this is also something other than the name. We knew this was going to be at the show today.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's nothing
You're
new.
right. It would have been cool to make something totally new. As you were saying, I think, as we were watching it, why couldn't you make something that could show the Wii U's capabilities more? Like how they had Mario Galaxy before. That was amazing. Like, something totally new, Something really cool and unexpected.
Yeah. And, of course,
that would have been cool.
Reggie was hammering the whole social window thing that Iwata brought up. Very brief. And then, of course, he started to talk about how they have some core titles coming, and of course the place went dark, and we heard like the Arkham City music, and Reggie was talking, and all of a sudden we hear Harley Quinn, either Tara Strong or the other one, talking with Reggie, and I thought that was kind of cool.
All right, Mr. Reggie, we all know you're the man around here, but why don't you let me handle this? After all, I've always had a thing for extreme personalities, and here's one of the most extreme, Mr. Martin Tremblay, president of Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment. Take it away, Marty baby!
Thank you, Reggie.
Yeah, it was cool.
And the WB Games president came out, and then they had this awkward banter on stage.
Yeah.
And
but polite. I like polite.
It was polite. It was just. It was
sometimes
like.
Little...
It was like. They
like
just...
you didn't know if someone was gonna. Step off. Like, who needs to step off the stage?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's like two friends who haven't seen each other for a long time. It's just kind of like time stops and there's pauses and it's just weird. But anyway,
it's cute.
They had the trailer that played. They introduced the new game. The new content, I don't know what it's going to be. If it's going to be DLC, if it's going to be added stuff. We don't really know. The only things that we know that were confirmed is the BAT meter for the combat, or BAT, which is that really cool meter that goes while you're fighting. So for new players, this is going to be a great asset when you're trying to get more combos and things like that, because it will give Batman new abilities. We don't necessarily know what the new abilities are, but from what the trailer, it looked like it made Batman like super powerful, and he could take out foes in one hit. Of course, the new armor, which is very similar to the Batman Arkham Asylum game, but now both Batman and Catwoman will have it. You have the new touch features with doing all the different things that you would have to pause the game for originally. Now it's all
it's
real time.
It's kind of like your Bat computer is on your arm there at all times.
Yeah,
so
which is something
very cool.
That would happen in the comics and, of course, a lot of the Batman media and things like that.
Yeah,
so,
but it definitely looked like they revamped the whole game, and I'm really excited to see if they added, more dialogue with Kevin Conroy. I'm like really excited to see if they did. That would be awesome.
That would be amazing. Especially if Oracle's talking to you on the controller, or maybe Robin, or maybe that's what he meant about, Nightwing and Robin talking to him. Maybe they're talking to him through the controller.
Yeah.
That could be a possibility. Cool. We don't know. We have no way of knowing this, but that would make sense, and then it would prove that Kevin Conroy, is not a liar. But
yeah. But we did see some really cool footage of using some, new, different gadgets and stuff like that, and we definitely, saw some footage of gameplay on that didn't look like anything that we had played on the PS3. So it was like it's definitely a whole new game. So
yeah, there's I mean
it's still in Arkham City, but it's like definitely you want to get it because it's
totally
like different.
Yeah. How I'm looking at this generation is when I was a kid, you had Super Nintendo and Genesis. And while they did have the same titles, they were entirely different games.
Yeah.
So Justice League Task Force, as an example, on the Super Nintendo was completely different than the Genesis version. Batman the Animated Series for the Super Nintendo had the same title, Batman and Robin, but it was two different games. The Genesis was a Gunstar Heroes type game, whereas the Super Nintendo game was an action-adventure side-scroller. So what you have with this generation coming, there's probably going to be a lot more exclusive content and a lot of differences visual-wise and also gameplay mechanic-wise for the Wii U compared to, of course, the 720 and the PS4. And that's actually a good thing, because for the past 10 years, we have been hammered with so many games that appear on the same system, and it's the same game, just with a little tweak in visuals, or maybe better music.
It's like on different systems, but it's
exactly
the same.
It's the same, yeah.
Yeah, it gets a little boring.
It does.
I did notice, just looking at the Wii U, of the Batman Arkham City, it's just, the visuals are, like, amazing. They just look amazing. Like,
well, they look like PC graphics, is what...
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, PC is always leaps and bounds ahead consoles. But
they definitely, they're amazing.
Yeah, much better than PS3 and 360.
Yeah, definitely.
But
better.
we are moving on. Warner Brothers then talked about Scribblenauts Unlimited for the Wii U. It was a very popular series on the DS and 3DS, I believe. I didn't really ever get a chance to play it, though.
I didn't either, and now that I saw it, I was like, oh, this does look pretty cool. I mean, I'd heard about it before, and just seeing it, at the conference, watching it was like, oh, this looks really cool. I'd never played anything like that, so it reminded me of like those old
Drawn to Life.
Drawn to Life, but you type in the words like an old DOS almost, where you type it in when you do. But, I'm sure it's a
well. It was a big hit several years ago. I remember a lot of people talking about it. You would type in like different things, get superpowers. It was just really cool.
Yeah, I mean, they must have done so much work to have everything that you could possibly imagine available for you to just there in case you type it in. So,
with this game, of course, you can use a controller to create your character, and has multiplayer too. And it wrapped up. The game's going to be HD. It's a launch title or within the launch window. And then, of course, Reggie came back and showed us a demo reel for all the core titles. We're not really going to get into that. I'm excited about Tekken Tag Tournament 2. I was a big fan of Tekken Tag Tournament back in the day. Great game. Ninja Gaiden 3, mixed feelings about, because that game sucked on the PS3 and 360. It bombed, and it bombed bad. Mass Effect 3 we passed on, and we won't be doing for Wii U, so don't really care there. Assassin's Creed 3 we already knew about. We talked to people at PAX about it. Nothing really new or exciting there, other than, of course, the boat stuff we saw at E3, like in the video streams. And there wasn't really any other game I can think of that just screamed, wow, this looks cool. The only thing I took away from it is, wow, Heihachi ate a mushroom and is getting ready to beat Kazuya, when he got big.
You did like that.
That was it.
I'm trying to remember what was in that game reel. I don't know if I'm allowed to
Alien
talk about...
Colonial Marines.
That looks real. I do want to try. I want to try the Alien game, and
because you like scary things.
Some of those other games, like the some of the shooters looked kind of cool.
We'll get into it.
We'll get into
that.
They're coming
later.
on, and then of course the one that was on the other one that was on the floor, but
yeah.
Let's talk about Wii Fit You yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not
all right,
yet.
then moving on.
We're moving on. But actually, Amber kind of jumped the gun, because Reggie's body is ready for Wii Fit U, but not for the singing game. And basically with Wii Fit U, it's Wii Fit on the U, and it's the same thing. The only difference is you can play it on the controller. When someone was watching TV, we saw that it has like a little pedometer thingy.
Yeah, actually, something interesting that I don't know if you saw, Kwing, before, Luke. I don't know if you saw when you rewatched the conference, or I was watching something about the Wii Fit U. I don't know exactly what it's called.
No, you got it.
That little pedometer thing looks amazing. You can actually just import if you did a run in the morning, import what you ran and import it right into the Wii Fit U. Before you could just write down how many steps you did or something, or enter it in, you know, manually, and just, you know, it didn't really take that into account in the other Wii Fit games. So I think that's really cool that it will go with you on that, but also it can tell what altitude you're at, and that determines, you know, how many calories you actually burn, because depending on what altitude you're at, it's like a different number of calories. So I thought that was really cool, and it can sense different things also. You can actually wear it, I believe, while you're actually on your Wii Fit also. But also, of course, you know, it's not just the Wii Fit U, but other games you can play that Wii Fit while other people are watching TV, which is amazing, because I usually don't get to play my Wii Fit if, you know, if Kwing needs the TV
Toonami.
or if he's watching Toonami or something, you know, it's like, oh, okay, well, Toonami takes precedence, so I have to wait. So now I can actually do my Wii Fit, do my little run, and yeah, my little whatever they are. Yeah, so I'm done. But okay. I'm really excited. I want to see what it is. The luge looks really cool. I want to do that. So
yeah, luge looks, I mean, I've never really been big into the Wii Fit thing. I bought it for you. So.
I like it a lot. Thank you for buying it. It's very cool.
You're welcome. And of course, Amber and I are big 3DS fans, and 3DS got the short end of the stick until, well, of course, as media, we both knew, you know, they had a big show coming up. I didn't know it was going to be an hour long. I thought they were just going to have, like, maybe, I don't know, 20 minutes. Because usually these extra conferences aren't that long. Yeah. They got a full hour show tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific time and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And they're going to drop a ton of bombs. Wow. But during the press conference, I think for 7 minutes, he got to talk about new Super Mario Bros. 2, which we know is coming out in August. Paper Mario got a release date and a new name. It's Paper Mario Sticker Star. And you'll actually use stickers in combat to do all these different moves, which actually looks pretty cool. And of course, we finally got a confirmation that yes, Luigi's Mansion 2 is still around, and yes, it's coming this fall.
That looks awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you guys can check out our impressions tomorrow from the live stream. That will be around 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and then our impressions will probably be up, I don't know, around midnight, something like that. But yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Next on the docket was, of course, Lego City, which is now called Lego City Undercover. It's for the Wii U. The game is going to be a launch title. It's got lots of humor. Stuff about the game's death were very highly exaggerated. I tried to talk to people, especially Warner Brothers and Traveler's Tales, for a while about it, and ask what happened to the game, and get nothing. So I figured, along with everybody else, okay, they killed this game in favor of Lego Batman 2 and Lego Lord of the Rings and some of these other projects, but lo and behold, Nintendo kept their promise, and here it comes. So
it's really cool. Yeah. It's like a policeman type game, like free roaming.
Yep, free roaming, open-ended. Yep, correct.
Open-ended game and learning terms one at a time. So yeah, so it looks amazing. It's got cool voice acting, cool music. I remember thinking, oh man, if they use the music that they use in this commercial for the game, like the game will be awesome. So, and I forgot what the lead person's name is, but it looks really cool.
A lot of Matrix humor in it, and like other stuff.
They had a little pipe that he went in at one point.
Yep, little nods to the Nintendo franchise. Yeah. And that pretty much did it for that. And then, of course, Reggie said they're going to have their own 3DS undercover game for Lego City. It won't be the same type of game that's on the Wii U, but they'll have their own separate thing. And what I really liked about Lego City is something that, again, I'd like to see in Arkham City, is you have characters that talk to you on the U-Pad, and they give you all kinds of side missions and different objectives that aren't happening in the main game. You have to be looking at the controller in your hand, and I thought that was really cool.
That is cool.
Then, of course, once again, we had Ubisoft come up on the stage, which they just had their show last night, which was pretty cool. They did 7 U titles, and of course we got to see Rayman Legends. In this one, they only showed 2 titles. It was Just Dance, and Reggie became the ultimate puppet master, changing dances as the dancers went on the U-Pad, and he really enjoyed that.
That was wicked cool.
He made the dancers mess up on stage. I felt bad for that one poor girl.
Oh like, my gosh. Yeah, I cannot believe, you can, and actually, you could actually do that at home with the game. You can have one person directing the dances, and
I'm gonna
the
have
other
fun with that one.
The rest of the people are dancing, or the other person is dancing. And yeah, Luke already told me that
I'm gonna be diabolical.
That he's gonna be he's gonna take the Wii pad, and while I'm doing my Just Dance, and I did not know Just Dance was the top-selling video game dance game ever.
Well, they keep saying it is, but I think that Kinect dance game is doing better. But it's both done by Ubisoft.
Oh, really? Oh, well, I'm really excited to see what they do. They always improve with that, and I'm just loving it. I want to get the rest of the Just Dance games because they're amazing. So I have a lot of fun.
Well, Ubisoft talked a little bit more about ZombiU, and they said it's a true survival horror game, and of course FPS game all in one. Key being about the whole survival aspect that we learned about from other sources is there's no continues, there's no checkpoints, and there's no game over. What happens is when your character dies, you become another survivor. So you can die as many times as possible, and you'll become a new character. The only problem with this, if you were playing for an extended amount of time with that other character, all your experience and points you've earned will disappear, but the weaponry that you had will be available for that other character, but the stats won't be the same because you'll have to learn how to use that weapon.
Yeah.
So literally the tagline is how long can you survive? And I think this is actually a very clever game mechanic that I have never heard about in a zombie game before. This is something very revolutionary, something that probably should have happened 10 years ago in gaming.
It's very cool. It makes a realistic, everyone's like, oh, games aren't real because you have, in real life you'd only have one life, and here it's like you do. Yeah. But I believe you have to go kill your zombified person that died. After you turn into a zombie, I believe that one of the developers was saying when they were interviewing her, if your character turns into a zombie and then you come back as a new character, you have to go out and get that character and kill them for their backpack or their supplies or something.
Wow.
that you collected before. You collected all this stuff, and then you die, you turn into a zombie. So then once you end up dying, then you actually have to go get your former self and kill them so you can get your supplies back, which is interesting. But yeah, it looks really cool, and I thought it was interesting. They said you should go in the dark and play this game, for a cool experience. I was like, there's no way I'm playing that game in the dark.
Oh, you're gonna be playing this game. I don't do the horror games.
I'm definitely doing this game. I think it looks really cool. I don't know if I'll be that good at it, but I think it'll be really fun.
Who cares if you're not good at it? You die, you get to play as a different character.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd say this game is perfect for anybody with any skill level.
Exactly.
No game over. Of course, you're probably going to be a mass murderer killing probably hundreds of people.
Well, at least you don't have to feel bad about it.
Yeah, there you go. So, during the whole ZombiU thing, one of the main highlights was, of course, the Reggie zombie and the new mime that's going around called I Like French Food with Reggie's face, as you're seeing right now.
Because the developer was French, who he was on the stage with.
What they do, every E3, they do something to Reggie.
Oh, yeah.
They make Reggie say something stupid, like, my body's ready, or, he has so many different mime
he brought up that
names.
From last time, you guys, laughed at me, yes, my body. At least he can laugh at himself.
Oh, he's a great,
Reggie's awesome.
He's
I
funny.
think Reggie is so cool. The Reginator.
He's one of my favorite game presidents. I mean, he's pretty good. The only thing that he's failed at is Earthbound. That's the only thing in his entire, career as Nintendo president is disregarding and not listening to the Mother fans. And I hear you, Mother fans. I'm right with you. I agree, and that's the only thing that I have against Reggie Fils-Aimé.
I love how he said when he was the puppet master, they said, you're going to be the puppet master. And they're like, how did that feel? He's like, that's, being the puppet master is kind of like running a Nintendo of America. I thought that was funny.
That was great.
Yeah.
But anyway,
screaming, yeah.
we're getting near the end of our impromptu podcast, basically. But Nintendo, besides the social plugging, they did leave us with one new intellectual property, and that, of course, is Nintendo Land, which is basically a party game by the guy who gave us Animal Crossing and Wii Sports. So think like Disney World, but with Nintendo characters. And instead of it having 100 or 90 mini games like some of the Mario Party games, it's got 12 locations inside this theme park, and that's kind of a bit of a letdown.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like they're all really different and really varied, and I mean, it looked really cool how they were showing. I mean, the guy was showing how 4 players could be against 1 player. That was pretty cool. I like that. But then they went on for a long time about that.
They went on for 20 minutes about that.
It was almost too much. It was like they didn't show any game for more than like a split second other than that. And then they showed they just like the whole thing just stopped for 20 minutes and went on about this game. But it looked like Disney World, virtual Disney World. I'll finally get to go to Disney World with you on Virtual Land.
There you go. But yeah, I agree. I mean, the whole 20 minutes thing, they would have if they would have even just done 7 minutes of that game, I don't think there would have been this bad a reaction about Nintendo's press conference online right now.
It was just too long for the. But one thing this is my theory that I think that I mean Nintendo Land would be a really cool thing to come packaged with the game. I hope that it comes packaged with it. Really, you don't hope so?
It's going to be a separate title, knowing Nintendo.
Okay. Then I thought maybe that's why they were showing so much of it. So now I'm really confused. But
no.
I mean, I don't know. I guess I'll just have to see when it comes out. I really don't know. There must be something good about it, but
yeah, I don't know.
Perhaps not.
It wasn't until Nintendo, of course, after the show, they did stuff with Iwata on their Nintendo Direct thing, and he showed us all kinds of games. And of course, they went more into Nintendo Land, but they showed Arkham City. And they showed ZombiU and some other stuff. But there was no mention on the show about Zelda, Metroid, Star Fox, F-Zero, or any of the Wii titles like The Last Story, and of course Kirby's Anniversary Collection, which a lot of people are disappointed about that I've talked to. And of course, the biggest blunder is Nintendo's newest IP, which hardly anybody got to know about, especially the casual gamers. Only the media knew about this, was the IP called Project P100. Which is that really cool trailer I showed you guys in K-News several hours ago, where it's superheroes coming together to fight these alien robots using Pikmin-style gameplay, but at the same time incorporating beat-em-up elements. And it's a really cool-looking game, and Nintendo spent 20 minutes talking about Nintendo Land. I'm sorry, but that is why their conference didn't do well.
Yeah, it was a little anticlimactic. Like, you thought they were going to end with something, they keep saying we have so much stuff to talk about, and they keep, you thought they were going to go out with a bang, like, of something amazing and shockingly cool, and, it kind of ends with Nintendo Land. It's kind of like, oh, because they showed so many games that were, like, so much more visually stimulating and so much more exciting, just in, like, a reel, like, for a few seconds before, like, way before that, and it's like, oh, I wished I got to see more of some other games, so, yeah.
Yeah. So, of course, Reggie then came back on the stage after, the whole Nintendo Land blunder, and people were kind of fidgeting in their chairs. The Twitter feeds, there were a lot less people praising Nintendo. They were mainly making fun of Nintendo Land. And just when you think they are going to redeem themselves, Reggie gives us a ending after his Together is Better speech about the Wii U and all the stuff that they're doing and hope that we'll stay glued and things like that. They end with, yet again, Nintendo Land doing fireworks. And this was a huge missed opportunity because in a lot of Nintendo's past press conferences, like right at the end, before everybody's ready to go, this is when you showed the trailer for like Metroid Other M, Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, Super Smash Brothers, even Kirby's Epic Yarn. And they gave us a little fireworks display. It's still nowhere near as bad as their Wii Music presentation from many years ago, but this wasn't one of their better conferences. They started out good, but they didn't finish well.
Yeah, as you said, Project P100 would have been a really cool ending.
I'm really excited to play that game. That game looks awesome.
Yeah, well, anyway, so you do your closing thoughts, babe. Sorry for interrupting.
I think I'm done with my closing thoughts. My brain is mush. It's been almost a 50-hour day, something like that for me, with 4-hour naps in between.
All right, well, in that, I will then we will probably say good night, everyone. Thank you so much for listening in on this podcast, and Kwing has been working like from morning until evening and nonstop, and I've just been coming up to bring him plates of food. So he's.
I like French food.
Yeah. Wait, no, not me. Oh wait, I'm not French. But yeah, so we definitely probably gonna watch some. I'm gonna watch some Justice League and go to bed.
You're
so.
gonna watch Justice League. This video isn't gonna edit itself, hon.
Yeah, K-Wing's gonna edit this video, and I'm gonna sit around. So, all right. Well, everybody, I don't know if I should say God bless and happy gaming. Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment below, and share this video. We like this format. It's kind of nice, and if you guys and gals like it, please let us know. And you can let us know by helping us out, because liking and sharing this video, it really does help us out. It gets our video out there, and it shows you care. So just putting it out there. Have a great evening. God bless. Happy gaming. I'll be back tomorrow with another K News. You can bet on that. And of course, I will be giving you coverage of Nintendo's 3DS event tomorrow night. And then I think I'm taking a nap.
Yeah, much needed. All right, everyone. See ya.
All right, keep it locked here, gamers.
Later,
Bye-bye.
gamers.